Probably this one I can't sign for myself, can I?
Marion, are you signing? Nora is. I'm the same. Did you pass on yours? Is that Z?
What's that?
Passed on yours?
Yeah.
Did the same. I did the same on mine. I'll have to sign it.
It's not like I can see.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
All right, at 6 PM, we're going to call this regular meeting of the Parker Council to order. Please silence your electronic devices. Roll call of council.
Mayor Hartless,
Here.
Vice Mayor Waddell, absent. Councilmember Shantz,
Here.
Councilmember Daniels,
Present.
Councilmember De Leon, absent. Councilmember Grenville,
Here.
Councilmember Jen.
Present.
All right, please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for the invocation from the infamous Louis Marsh. I pledge
Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we thank you for allowing us to be here tonight. We pray that you would give us the wisdom to make the right choices, the very best choices for this little community here. And we ask you, Father, as well, to help us as we seek to serve and build this community, and that you would crown our efforts with success. And we ask this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Thanks, Louis. Okay, our next item is call to the public. Do we have any? No. Okay, our next item is Chamber Director's Report. Erica Daniels.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I'd like to provide a quick update on behalf of the Chamber. First, we hosted our first gala in over 10 years. It was on September 6th at the Blue Water Resort and Casino, and it was a wonderful evening with strong community participation, outstanding nominees, and an excellent turnout. The night was truly a success, and we look forward to building on that momentum for future years. We have 2 events coming up this week. This Thursday is our monthly Chamber Mixer that is hosted at the Parker Elks. And on Saturday, we'll be holding a ribbon cutting for the iconic Little Brown Jug at 5:30 p.m. In addition, the Lake Havasu Chamber of Commerce is hosting a legislative retreat next weekend, and I have placed an invitation for each of you at your chair. Finally, we're excited to share that the Chamber has been awarded a festival grant by the Arizona Commission on the Arts. Preparations are already underway, and we are looking forward to presenting a strong holiday culture event for our community. Thank you for your time and continued support.
Thank you, Erica. All right, our next item is the consent agenda. I'm going to read all these just for the record. Item A is Town of Parker Retreat Meeting Minutes of January 24th, 2025. Item B is Town of Parker Special Meeting Minutes of May 13th, 2025. Item C is Town of Parker Joint Special Meeting Minutes of May 13th, 2025. Item D is Town of Parker Meeting Minutes of May 19th, 2025. Item E is Town of Parker Meeting Minutes of September 2nd, 2025. Item F is Town of Parker Police Department K-9 Policy Update. Item G is Event Special Application Park and Rec Annual Trunk or Treat on October 31st. Item H is Special Event Application from PACE for Red Ribbon Week Family Fun Day on November 2nd. And item I is Special Event Application for Streets and Traffic's Annual Veterans Day Parade on November 8th, 2025. So we can take all these together unless somebody wants to pull something out and discuss.
Motion to approve all?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to approve the consent agenda items A through I. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried. Item 1, discussion and action to approve, deny an agreement with law enforcement specialists for off-duty scheduling services. Chief Bailey?
Good afternoon, Mayor and Council. As the memo states before you, we're looking to enter into agreement with law enforcement specialists for off-duty work. Currently, if the company requires an officer for security, whether it be road construction or sitting at sinkhole for an APS pole, They'd call us directly, and then we would have to bill the company for the off-duty rates. This company does all the middle work for us. The company would request whoever it is, I gave the example earlier, if FAN is doing road work, they would request the services through law enforcement specialists. They would pay law enforcement specialist, who would then pay the officer, and if a vehicle is utilized, they'd pay the town the hourly rate for the vehicle. There's no cost to the town for this. It's paid for by the contractors or the people requesting the work. As you can see, our fee schedule here, our officers are $75 an hour, and our vehicle is $10 per hour. Again, that $10 comes back to the town.
Okay. Any questions or discussion? Seems pretty cut and dry, I guess. It's a way for our guys to make a little extra money, basically.
If no questions, I'll motion to approve.
Moved and seconded. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 2, discussion action to approve deny amendment to the Arizona State Parks grant agreement for the jailhouse rehabilitation project. Steve Ziegler.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Public Works Department respectfully requests Mayor and Council to authorize staff to sign an amendment to extend the completion deadline 1 year on the Arizona State Parks Heritage Grant for the Parker Jailhouse Historic Building Rehabilitation. Town Council awarded the project to G&G Specialties Contracting on August 5th, 2025. The agreement was fully executed with G&G and staff held a pre-construction meeting on September 4th. At that meeting, town staff, G&G, and the town architect discussed value engineering to reduce the cost and scope of work. Due to some uncertainties that may arise during the course of the rehab, it was decided to extend the project deadline from December 15th, 2025 to December 2026. Town staff reached out to Arizona State Parks Grant Coordinator and requested the extension. The grant coordinator agreed that it would be wise to do this, considering how close we are to the actual deadline. And this, according to her, in no way, shape, or form will affect our future grant applications by doing this 1 year extension. The draft for the amendment to the agreement to extend the deadline, which you have in front of you, there's no fiscal impact to the town by extending the grant and completion date.
And it won't change the terms of the cost or the quote or anything? All right. Any question, discussion?
I'll make a motion to approve the extension.
I will second.
It's been moved and seconded. No questions? All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. Thanks, Steve. Item 3, discussion action to approve, deny an agreement with Total Security Solutions for the purchase and installation of a ballistic circulation desk for the Parker Public Library for $91,930. Steve?
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Public Works Department respectfully requests Mayor and Council to authorize staff to hire Total Security Solutions for $91,930 to furnish and install a ballistic circulation desk at the library. Over the last 5 years, Public Works staff has installed employee safety and security systems to protect employees at Town Hall, Magistrate Court, and the Police Department. The library is the last location that these type of systems will be installed in order for the library circulation desk to operate as it currently does, with visibility to all rooms, have the ability to speak with and conduct business with patrons. It requires a different type of system. A system with the entire upper half being ballistic glass and transaction windows, so the library staff can operate in the same manner as they currently do. And those examples in your packet are just examples. I don't have a final design, but that's similar to what it will look like, where all the upper half will all be ballistic glass and the lower half will be more of a desk. Framed in area. And our search for solutions for this type of system proved to be extremely difficult because staff was only able to find one, Total Security Solutions. So no other proposals were obtained, and we do have a sole source letter from them. The unit size is about 38 linear feet. It'll extend from the floor all the way to the ceiling. It'll have 3 transaction points, an ADA drop, flush panels, a package exchanger similar to what we have at the new police department. So it'll have all the amenities needed to conduct business with patrons and the library staff. In order to save costs, Public Works will be doing the demolition of the existing desk as well as relocating the existing light fixtures, receptacles, and Cat 6 wiring for the computers. The library can remain open during the construction. A temporary plastic wall will be installed, hanging from the ceiling around the desk area, and will allow access to the restrooms in all rooms. There will be noise associated, obviously, with construction, but the library can remain open during this time. The project will be funded partially by an SGIA, which is a State Grants and Aid grant from the Arizona State Library, where they awarded the library $50,000 for this project. The remaining cost will be paid for from the general fund, where $100,000 was budgeted in the approved FY 25-26 capital improvement plan.
So who did the, the ballistic ones at the PD and the court and the town? You guys did them?
At the PD, the contractor did that one, but we did this one here at Town Hall and at the magistrate court.
This one's just a little too,
It's because all of the glass. We don't have.
oh, it's not just a flat front entrance like the town.
Yeah, all we did was purchase an actual transaction window and then frame it in. That's what those two at the court and town hall have. Similar to what's at the library, or excuse me, the police department. The only difference is they have a larger and a different type of transaction window, which they have that big drawer that slides out. So those are totally different than this. We don't have the ability to do the glass like this structure or this desk will have.
Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Zia.
Can you talk about the, what was the premise for wanting ballistic glass over, or this type of setup over at the library?
Can you repeat that question, please?
Can you talk about the premise or what the history is with wanting this type of enclosed environment over at the library?
Over the years in which I've been here, we've had issues in which patrons have come in and let's just say, I don't know what the right term was, but been aggressive with the library staff, similar to what's happened at every front desk that we have for the town of Parker. That's why years ago when I went down this path, I wanted to protect staff because we don't have any protection. There's been incidents when the police department has been called out there as well, similar to what's happened here. So staff is aggressively talked to and approached throughout the years at all the locations that we have, all facilities. And it's important to protect staff. So it was started years ago to give us the ability to have that protection because we can't afford, obviously, to have any harm done to staff.
Does the town have any incidents reporting for aggressive staff or aggressive customers that they report on an incident basis?
I don't have that number right next to me, but yes, we have had a few over the years.
So that is a reportable, retrievable information that we'd be able to see so that we can look at trends and different things in that regard.
For the ones that have been reported. Now, how many have happened that haven't been reported? That we wouldn't know. That would be, our librarian could maybe fill us in on that. How often that happens or how aggressive that they actually get. But the ones that have been reported, those are retrievable.
Okay.
Go ahead. Okay. Since I've been the liaison for the library, over the years, this desk has been talked about. How the current one is not ADA compliant, it's old. You could literally, you could probably kick it over more than, it's just flimsy. The library is also a cooling station, so people can come in at any time. I know it's extremely pricey, but I also feel like this is probably a one-time purchase that will last us, I don't know, hopefully 50 years, because we tend to hold on to things here at the town. And if you look at the library in general, the facilities have been kept up. I have no doubt that we're going to spend $100,000 and it's still going to be standing. Our staff will be safe, because the library is just such a place for anyone in the community that can come in and stay all day long. As long as they're open, folks can stay. And I just feel like our staff needs to have a way to be able to look out and yet be safe. So, you know, now that Parker PD is not right there, I think there's maybe a heightened level of security that we really need to pay attention to. And again, this has been the topic over the years by the board, who has talked about this very thing in the desk and getting it and trying to get grants. You know, and with that came flooring, and then, you know, all these other things that have to go, you know, it's like remodeling. You start one thing, before you know it, you're painting and doing a roof and an air conditioner and everything else. But this is kind of like the end piece of what needs to happen, in my opinion, in a modern library where we are protecting our staff.
You say modern library. What other libraries, or maybe you can help answer, what other libraries do have this similar type of ballistic glass models that you're aware of?
I don't have a list in front of me, but I can certainly do
Are you
some
aware
research.
of any, or have you seen any?
Yes, I am aware of some that I've seen. I just don't recall the locations.
I've seen a couple in Phoenix also, but the other thing is, they also had security. They had the, you know, you walk through, you know, we don't have that. But they did have measures of security. They had offices right behind something similar to this, so the staff could actually retreat into an office with a door, ballistic window where they could look out and still see what is going on in the library. So it was kind of a three-step process between getting in, the desk, and then offices located behind with doors.
So I know that we're not ADA compliant right now. Do we need to be? Absolutely. Do we need security over at the library? Yes, especially if there's incidences that we don't know about. And I would love to see the incidences that we don't know about and how serious they got. I'm totally against this because I feel like this is not personable for our community to go to. I understand that it is considered a cooling zone. There's a lot of people in there all day, just like there is in the community center, just like there is in many other offices. The bank, for instance, that doesn't have this kind of security, and they're very different run than the library. For us to pay that much out of the general fund, I believe that we could look at other security measures and kind of get them in place, but I just don't foresee spending this kind of money out of our general fund for this kind of security at our library. I did talk to 2 different libraries today. One in the Phoenix area who, yes, they have security measures in place. Is it this? Absolutely not. Do they have the desks and have they done some upgrades? Yes, but it is not to where they're behind glass talking to the patrons or clients or kids that come in to check out a book. Then I even went so far, I was like, okay, they can say that the city's way bigger, very different crowd, right? So I called Quartzsite. Quartzsite's nothing like this. I've visited Quartzsite myself as well. Doesn't have anything like this. So maybe is there libraries out there that do have this? Yes. Are they ones that I called today? No. My personal opinion is I feel like this takes away the personable approach for our community, for our library. And if there was something like a security measure that was that important, I wish that we would have known about it at the time when it happened so that we could have addressed it then if we needed to get security measures in place for the library for our staff to be safe. It's kind of how I feel about it. And I think the senior center is a cooling station as well, and they don't have this kind of measures in place either, correct?
Correct.
Okay.
And with working at the hospital side of perspective, we have had that assessments on various areas of throughout the hospital because it is a very high security risk where you have patients walking in. So it's really playing the counterparts of looking at the personability portion with that, but also trying to focus on the employee safety aspect of it. So a couple areas that we identified as the highest risk area. So when you walk in front emergency room where that individual's there overnight, alone, individual with themselves, with whoever walks in, that was the highest risk area. So we decided to move forward with it over in those areas. Other places such as registration desks or clinic areas, it was felt that the impersonability behind the glass desk takes away so much from the hospital employee to patient relation that it wasn't worth it for the minimal additional safety features in those particular areas. I do like, your particular idea of having a retreat glass, and that seems like a potential doorway over where they can potentially have over in that area that has some sort of different security measures with that. My concern, similar to what Erica expressed, is taking away that personability aspect and being too enclosed inside that environment away from the people that they're trying to serve. I think one of the great things about our library is that it is very much very personable with all the individuals who do walk in, and my concern would be taking that away.
Yeah, honestly, I don't, I don't see them in there very much. When I'm over there, they're all out.
Let's ask Phoenix.
And the libraries receive funding for the flooring, but we're waiting for this project, basically. Is that correct?
I believe so.
Because the flooring's bad, the tiles. Oh, I didn't know you were here, sorry.
That's good.
Kind of what I'm thinking in my head, because I kind of agree with what you guys are saying. I love the fact that the library wants to pay for, or the state library wants to pay for half of it. We budgeted 100,000 this year to get this done. Is that right?
We did because we knew that we were going to have the 50,000 as grant money, so we have to budget for that entire thing to
Right.
be able to receive
Oh,
that
okay.
money and.
But we weren't
to be
planning
able-
on spending 100, maybe 50,
50.
like we're talking about.
Yes.
I just wonder if we, and no offense, obviously you wrote the grant and it was awarded.
I didn't have anything to do with the grant.
Oh, okay.
That was Ms. Phoenix.
That was
Okay.
Ms. Phoenix.
I just wonder if we could use that 50,000 that we're gonna have to spend anyway and build a really incredible new circular desk thing up there, but without all the glass and because I kind of agree, the personability of the library, that's one of the charming things when you go in there. But I also think there's probably no escape route right now other than, running out the back door. So maybe a ballistic door, 2 doors, but I gotta be honest with you, if they're in the library full of kids and stuff and somebody comes in, they're not gonna run out through a door anywhere. I'm sure you guys are gonna be trying to save everybody, so. Sure, absolutely.
Yes, yes, yes.
So I, a lot like you guys, was not completely on board with this desk. I didn't love the idea of being behind glass, and I know that my staff doesn't stay behind glass. But in today's society, in today's world, we need a safe place to go. We need a plan of action. In the news now, librarians are being called pedophiles. They're being attacked politically. And I think that by losing the personability of the, hi, welcome in, you're gaining the security of our lives. And with it being out in the front of the building, there is the opportunity to pull people in instead of running behind doors. So it's not just us that we're thinking of, it's our patrons as well. And we will, with the glass, we remain a clear line of sight of everywhere, especially when people are coming in. But if you look at the way our desk is set up currently, as soon as somebody walks through that door, the people who are sitting at the desk, we can't see who that is because of how high the countertop is. So if somebody's coming in guns a-blazing, we don't even know.
So you,
box.
as the librarian, you definitely want this, is what I'm hearing.
I want something to protect my staff.
Okay,
Thank you.
thanks.
And there's nothing else out there that we've been able to,
There's nothing else we've looked at.
Well, I mean, when you put out a bid like this and you don't get any hits, you guys had to go find this company, or did they respond?
No, I had to search out a company that was a turnkey company. This was the only turnkey company. Yes, like you mentioned and asked about the other locations that we've installed, we've done some work with protection for town staff, but it is outside of our capabilities to do something in which you have a fully visible glass or ballistic protection around a desk and have it a complete turnkey system. So as far as what you're asking, can we do something in lieu of this and still protect staff? I don't honestly see how that's done.
And I honestly think that we should look into it and see if we can. Maybe if we tabled this and looked at that grant and seen what we can do with this grant and what desk we can get to where maybe it is visible, to where they can see what other security measures we can put in place, is what I would like to do, is definitely dig more into this grant and read the fine print and make sure all our I's are dotted before we just say yes tonight. Do I think that our staff needs to have security and feel safe? 100%, but not just our Town of Parker staff, our entire community as a whole.
Yeah, and for 40,000, you can easily get custom-made desk for that particular area and a door that locks, particular door with that for those particular, for, the 40,000 plus cost.
Great.
So that definitely will fall within line for that.
Agree.
Yeah, this one looks like it's super high, like they have right now, where she's saying, when you're sitting there, that's what I'm seeing on this one. This one looks interesting to me, because it looks like these little windows may open. I guess they would have to probably,
and
which makes me a little more comfortable. It's at least you're interacting face to face, and then you can close them real quick if you had to. So I like that one.
then
But-
there's one other one. There's
Yeah.
3 of them.
Yeah, this one is also, but it's got a little round portal like we have here. I like the one that has the square right in front of where the person's sitting. They could just move that and talk to people. Yeah, this is a tough one because I didn't know you felt that way, to be honest with you.
Table.
So it's important, I think it's important that we come up with something. But I'm okay with tabling, and this is not gonna hurt our grant stuff with the state library people. Kind of like the jail thing,
We would have to look at when the grant actually has to be
Okay.
fulfilled and completed.
Okay.
So yes, it could impact. I don't know what that current time to actually expend the funds is.
Could we table it with a special meeting to look over the grant so that we could all discuss it like an executive session, Nora, to talk about everything that's
I
in
don't
this
know if we
grant?
would need an
I
executive.
don't know that we could go into executive session in that.
Maybe a special meeting?
Christina?
We could definitely do a
Special meeting?
We can only do executive session if it obviously falls into one of those parameters under open
Right.
meeting law.
Mhm.
So, if it was legal advice that you needed, or obviously if we were doing contract negotiations, but if
Yeah.
it's just looking over the contract, unless there's a confidentiality provision, we would likely just have the discussion in public.
Are you familiar with this document, this grant application?
I don't have the grant application in front of me. I only have what you have, the total security
Okay.
agreement. Yeah.
I'm just curious if Christina could take a look at it too and make sure there's no, like, we're not gonna lose it if we don't use it kind of thing. The jail thing was a little bit different because we were talking about just canceling the whole thing, and that would have put us in a bad light with the historical, whatever, the funders of that project. Yeah, I don't know.
Take a look. if someone can send it to me, I can take a look at what the parameters are.
Do that, Phoenix?
So could we motion to table it with a special meeting? To schedule a special meeting regarding it?
Yeah, I don't even know if it would kill us to just have it on in 2 weeks, the next, or is it 2 weeks, roughly?
Yeah.
Yeah, if there's no rush with that, if we see that there's not a rush in
There's
the
not a date,
expenditure, then-
yeah, for sure. I was just thinking of a date, if there's something that is.
Chief, you want to add something?
Before you all table this, can I ask a question? What is the biggest hangup with this project right here? Is it the glass blocking the view and the accessibility with the patrons coming to the library? Because if it is, no matter what we do with any desk, you're gonna have that. Either that or we don't have any glass or any ballistics there, then you just have an open desk that is 3 feet high. So then what is the point of having a ballistic desk where you can have a person jump over, climb over, or whatever? You're gonna need something that has protection for the staff and for patrons in there. So if the hangup is a physical barrier between staff and patrons, you're not gonna get around that.
Well, coming up with separate, say, security measures with that, where we can look at potentially other organizations and other libraries and look at what the majority of other libraries do for their particular security measures, assess that, come up with that. Because I do think that, at least in my opinion, the personability is greatly lost with that physical barrier. And also, what I would like to see is the incidents reporting that we have for, so we can see that historic trend.
Well, I'm
Say if-
guessing a lot of it's anecdotal. It's not like we have a document that says this happened on this day. It's people going, oh, remember when that jackass came in that time? Is that fair to say?
Most of them are that way. We do have some reports where we've actually had to call PD.
And that's where, at least my anticipation, what I was going to be guessing is probably it's a lot more anecdotal what you're saying. I know what I've done at my organization is definitely try to encourage any sort of portions or stress, with that conflict that they receive with the public-facing areas to have some sort of incident reporting so that we can make some sort of informed decisions based off of that. A lot of times that certain events can be taken in different context and something that happened.
Sure.
Just having that hard, set and fast data helps with making decisions. So having, say, if we have, say, singular incidents for, months at a time, then okay, this is a constant, ongoing problem. If we only have one incident reporting in a 6-month window, and it's not severe, then it has different meaning based off of that. So that's where I've.
Well, kind of hitting on that, all it takes is one incident. We could be in an instance where her staff's put in a gunpoint or something like that. And I understand what we're saying is, yeah, this is a lot of money. This is, where we're going. But the safety is ultimately what we need to look at. And that's where the staff is, I 100% agree. Your guys is, I deal with customer service every day. I've had bolts thrown at me. I've had keys thrown at me. I don't have any ballistics, but there's going to be one time when someone comes in and doesn't like what we do and, does all that. And I'm not by no means saying that's going to happen, but there will be an instance. So.
And to your point, Councilmember Gensch, I can tell you right now, in the 20 years I've been here, if you're looking for any incident to justify this, where we would need this, there's not been one, where somebody came in with a gun or someone came in, trying to attack the staff. But there have been cases where you've had patrons in there and they've become unruly, where we've been called over there. But you're not going to find one incident or two incidents to say, well, this person came with a gun, and had we had this, it would prevent that. That's not going to happen. We don't have that. But to your point, and like the rest of the building here, we've never had an instance where someone came in, oh, we should have had this. We're preparing for the future, for the what could be's, and reality is now, it's not unrealistic to expect something, even in small towns.
I don't think it's unrealistic to expect anything at all in anywhere. Not a library, not a grocery store, not the offices down the street. I definitely think that we need to look at security measures and put some type of security measures and an emergency plan in place with the library 100%. Do I think that this is the best thing to put in place? Absolutely not. I would love to visit other libraries and just see what their security measures are, what they have in place. Again, I don't believe that they are desks that go from the floor to the ceiling. It's just my personal opinion.
I think another thing to consider is the state library people looked at it and went, okay, we'll fund this. I mean, so there has to be,
Did they look at this, or did they just say, yes, they'll fund a new desk? Did they look at this desk specifically and say, yes, this is what we need?
They knew it was a protection, a security measure to protect the
A
town
security measure
staff.
desk.
Yes.
but I'm okay if, I mean, if we want to table this for a couple of weeks and take a look, do some more investigating.
The other thing too, just throwing out there, we're not only we're looking at the whole staff safety, but you're also looking at, there's a door, there's a place for them to get behind that desk where they can shove kids back there, they can shove other patrons back there when this is happening. So we're not only protecting just our staff, but now we're being able to protect some of our patrons.
Similarly, though, if you put a door near that back, it's a similar fashion, is that if it's a locked door or some sort of a closed door or ballistics door, you're still having that same fashion and accomplishing the same goal in that regard.
And is this something we plan to do at the community center too? I mean, they're a cooling center and they deal with people that come in there all the time, irate and upset and throwing things and. Next.
And at the end of the day, we still need something replaced up there. That current counter is not gonna,
Absolutely.
Especially ADA
Glass or
compliant,
not.
yes.
we gotta do something. Besides, if we do some kind of escape room with a ballistic door.
And I think, at the very least, even if, say, we do not go forward with this grant whatsoever, there still is that 50,000 net difference to be able to work through that. So not discounting that portion, but we do also have those funds. And that, again, like I was saying earlier, should be more than enough to get, say, a door, a desk, and still have a decent amount left over.
And the flooring grant, there's no timeline to it. There really isn't. When you guys get done and use it, that's, yeah. Well, based on that, I would entertain a motion of any sort at this point.
I'll make a motion to table this for further discussion.
And I'll second, just adding that I would like to also see if we can look at other areas and see their security measures, so that is reported also back at other libraries, so that is reported back when we are rediscussing this item.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded to table this item for further investigation. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Motion carried. Thanks, Steve. You stay up there, my man. Discussion and action item 4, to approve, deny an agreement with Angels Creative Landscaping to award the library Xeriscape project in the amount of $137,590.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Public Works staff, Water Department respectfully requests the Mayor and Council to authorize staff to award the WIFA grant-funded library Xeriscape project to Angels Creative Landscaping LLC for $137,590. The library Xeriscape project invitation for bid was published May 7th, 2025 on the town website and on pipelinesuite.com, the bid site, as well as being published in the Havasu Herald and Parker Pioneer. The pre-bid conference was held May 27th, 2025 at 10 a.m. Not a single contractor attended. The bid opening was held June 12th, 2025, and there were no bids received. Staff informed WIFA that no bids were received, and they instructed staff to complete a non-competitive procurement authorization form for their review and approval. WIFA then approved this request June 18th, which gave staff the ability to secure an estimate from any contractor of our choosing. Staff began calling Angels Creative Landscaping, Canyon Landscaping, Mountain Desert Landscaping, TTS Landscaping, River Palm Landscaping. The only contractor willing to come out here and provide a design and estimate was Angels. Staff met with the Angels to design the Xeriscape, and in fact, actually had to go to their location and beg him essentially to do this project because I wasn't getting any solicitation from any other contractor. This design has willow acacias, palo verdes, saguaros, desert willows, ocotillos, red yuccas, blue agave, desert spoons, as well as a few other plants and succulents. It will also include an ADA accessible walkway lined with pavers, a 24-inch raised planter box, and the areas for seating and a water retention basins with assorted river rock. This irrigation system will be used, the existing irrigation system will be used and modified accordingly to provide the water for the trees and shrubs. The estimate includes all of the labor and materials. To date, town has spent $770,554.37 from the awarded $923,087.82. This leaves $152,000 remaining in the grant funds for this project. Once completed, there will be about $14,000 remaining, and that will go to my time as the Public Works Director administering all the projects for this WIFA grant.
No, I think this is incredible. I love the renderings. I think it's going to be beautiful. It's not costing us anything. No brainer for me.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Second?
So moved and seconded. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thanks, Steve.
Thank you, Mayor and Council.
All right, item 5. Discussion and action to approve denying agreement with the town of Quartzsite for home delivered meal program. Nora?
So this is the service agreement with the town of Quartzsite for the home delivered meals that we spoke about in July. We finally got it all signed by Quartzsite and approved. The this contract is from July 1st to June 30th with a 1-year term, and then there will also be a automatic 1-year renewal should we all decide that that is going to happen. It outlines just some of the responsibilities that we're taking on. We'll submit like ledgers to Quartzsite. We'll do all of the issue a final bill. We will not be issuing a monthly statement. They will be paying us each calendar, by the 5th of each calendar month, day of the month, $5,482.50. That's for administrating the program and the supplies and things. There is a cancellation terms in the contract. It's just pretty standard from here on out. We have not heard from the county as of yet, but this is the one for Quartzsite.
Yeah, this is fantastic. I got to say, all these years we've been complaining about nobody paying their fair share. And I'm pretty sure the county is going to get on board with their share from what I'm hearing.
Yes.
This is about $65,000 a year. This is exactly what this program needed. And that whole mom's meal thing is off the table now.
Correct.
We're delivering the meals, taking care of the food.
Correct.
Okay.
So they deliver to each client once a week, whether they qualify for 5 meals or 7 meals, that is all depending on WACOG. This is just a really great, this program is just a really great way to at least see those individuals once a week. It also helps staff be able to call them at least once or twice a week, plus this being able to see them. So yeah, we're glad that Quartzsite and the county are obviously on board with this, and we didn't have to go down the mom's
And we're
path.
doing it anyway. We're
We are
doing the
doing-
service anyway, so
Yes, we
this
are.
is great, yeah.
Is there a true-up that we built into the contract?
I'm sorry.
True-up?
At the end of the year, we will be truing up.
Is that in the contract?
Yes. I do believe it is.
Did not see where.
I know that we had talked about it.
I read that.
I I know we talked about it.
Christina is,
Say, Christina, did we
Christina's
get that in
looking
there?
right as we speak, I'm sure.
I know.
I'm looking for it because I also, we had put it in there.
Yeah,
Let's
that's-
see where.
When you say true up, does that just mean it rolls over without
No,
action?
so
No,
it's, I'm guessing that there's an estimated number of patients, or estimated number of individuals that served over here that's based off of the number that we calculated for the total cost of reimbursement. So say if it's significantly less, then say we would owe the, pay the difference for that, or if it's
No,
significantly
under
more,
three.
then they would pay us more.
Got you.
yes, so under 3.0, which is on the second page, D,
Final billing.
issue of final billing to court site, if the amounts due following the, so yes, I thought we had put it in there.
So it doesn't say,
Amounts remain.
Says final billing to court site,
yeah, but if
following
it's,
the end of the
if
fiscal
it's
year.
under, doesn't say we have to say, hey, sorry, we owe you guys money back because we didn't do as much as we thought.
We would roll that over to the
Okay.
next year.
That's, I guess, and Christina, is this enough, adequate enough to describe the formulation of how the true-up actually occurs?
Well, so it would give essentially the comparison, right, of what the town has spent versus obviously what, you know, the estimated cost was. And then at that point, that's when the final billing would, if we needed more money, right, that they needed to, they owed the town more, then we'd send that additional billing. So that's in addition to sort of the monthly payments that they would provide.
And you feel that's strong enough language for us to, for when we look at our total costs and our total costs with the program, say if they went up from 10% up to 50%, and that means that they're going to be paying 50% of the total cost of the program, and you feel that this language is strong enough to have that?
Well, they are agreeing to these terms, so yes, I mean, if, you know what I mean, that they understand that they might get a final bill that shows that they owe more. And so this would be the contract. Now, I think you also have to consider that there's, the estimates, I think, are based obviously on what the town has already been doing. So I think they're pretty close. Like, I don't think there's going to be that much of a divide of, you know, or that much of an increase that Parker would have to, you know, cover. And I think if that trend looked like that was going that way, we could always come back and amend, right? We can always come back and say, you know what, this is, you know, your costs are skyrocketing. We need to maybe look at some additional parameters here, or maybe we need to have a true up 6 months into the, you know, versus a year. I think the also consideration is that is partly why the termination provision is a 1 year. I think we wanted to see how this was going to work, right? Like if this is something that, you know, they're like, no, we're not going to pay, and they're going to walk away, well then, okay, then we're not going to probably be able to cover this type of service in the future. So I would say the fact that the town has been covering for both entities for a long time, and now that court side is agreeing to, you know, essentially pay for its share, I think this is a good first step. This is sort of, I would say, a kind of preliminary agreement to see how this works for everybody.
Yeah, I think that it's, you know, definitely a great agreement that allows services to continue. I just feel that if there is a disagreement, or if there is a increase from 10% to 20%, there's going to be some heavy questions on the total cost of the program, how we're capturing the total funds of that program in the total cost as a whole, and for them to pay that 20% margin share. And I guess to me, it doesn't explicitly say that that they're responsible for that proportional cost of the total cost of the program, and that they're going to be paying, and that this is based off of historic 10% or whatever historic efforts with that, and the true up will be up to whatever the true cost is at that point.
I mean, we can always add additional language. It's just a matter of going back and renegotiating with Quartzsite.
Yeah, I mean, I'm pretty okay with just getting it done to get it done, but if there is further discussions, I guess just from your perspective, you do feel that what I'm describing is this language is adequate enough for that?
Correct. So, you know, we're going to issue a final billing. They're responsible for payment. Again, if they somehow default, if you know, we have those termination provisions, or again, we just don't continue with services, right? I mean, if they're not going to make the payment, then that's where we terminate with cause and we're done. Always look at other remedies if we needed to try to seek out those additional funds. But I guess that's where I feel as though the town would be monitoring. Again, you know, so if it's not going to get out of control, to where at the final billing stage, we're looking at what you're suggesting, that now we're at 50% over, you know, budget of what we thought. If there's, you know, that trend happening, then we can go back to Quartzsite and adjust this and get an amendment. But it's also another option. If council feels they want stronger language, I mean, we can, like I said, we can go back and negotiate with Quartzsite.
Has Quartzsite approved this yet, their
Yes,
council?
they've already signed it. So they've signed.
Yeah, so that's where I'm personally fine with going forward with that, but if we are having further, you know, a year from now, 2 years from now, whenever that is, my suggestion would be just trying to have that stronger portion.
This
or
is
make
also
it-
retroactive to July 1st, so they'll already owe
Correct.
$11,000.
Maybe a 6-month review of this contract and what the expenses are versus the funding we've received. That way we'll know we need to meet with them and say the costs are more than we thought.
Well, and we can do that without putting it in here.
Right,
We can do
right.
that
I'm
anyway.
just saying that now, maybe we flag that for 6 months to be on an agenda.
Good idea, yeah.
And
Sure,
the-
because we also have the termination without cause, so we can give 60-day notice and just terminate the agreement.
Okay.
I think I like that part of it too, the fact that we're doing a contract, because we've been serving that community for a long time without any help from them. So now it kind of puts the ball in their court. If something goes wrong and they go, yeah, we don't want to do this anymore, and we go, okay, then we're not going to deliver meals anymore. I mean, it's going to be on them more than us, I feel like, at that point. So it's a good security blanket, I think, to help us with this program that the town's been doing for so many years. I don't even know how many years. All right.
Yeah, I'm not going to go back and try to renegotiate since they already signed the contract. So with that, I will motion to approve.
Second.
It's
Pick
been
one, Darcy.
moved and seconded to
And
approve the agreement with the town of Quartzsite for the home delivered meal program. All those in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries. Item 6, discussion action to approve, deny the appointment of Darcy Aspa as interim town clerk and direct staff to advertise the vacant position. Nora?
So Amy's last day with the town is Thursday, September 18th. Her last physical day here in the office was last Thursday. I believe I emailed all of you to let you know that, and along with her resignation. At this time, I would ask that you appoint Darcy Aspa as interim town clerk. Darcy's been with the town a little over a year, working closely with Amy. She's knowledgeable with the recording and camera system, thank goodness, preparing the agendas and the processing of the minutes and those kinds of things. And I would also ask that you would give the staff direction to go out to advertise for the town clerk position. Just a little bit of a background here. We've handed off the website and the social media stuff to Ms. Phoenix as Amy was doing all of that. So if you get a chance, please check out the website. It's looking good.
Oh, when you say hand off, there's a stipend involved in that also?
There was. When Ed was here, he gave that, kind of delegated that website and social media to the town clerk. We feel like that, that little, and there was a little stipend to go with that. With Darcy only having about a year worth of experience, this is being in the interim, and Miss Phoenix over here being young and pretty creative, I'll tell you. That was just a better fit over there for that.
So she will be getting that stipend.
She will.
So when we advertise, assuming we say yes, will we be advertising with the intent that the new clerk will take that stuff back, or we'll just leave it?
We will just leave it with
Okay,
Miss Phoenix.
Good, I'm glad you said that. Because there may be somebody even like Darcy who's interested in applying, and then they're gonna go, website, I don't know.
Yeah, no, we would like to keep the clerk's position, the clerk's position. I mean, it, really, that position, if done appropriately, there's a lot to do. And a lot to keep up on, so.
Motion to approve?
Second.
So moved and seconded to approve the appointment of Darcy Aspa as interim town clerk and direct staff to advertise the vacant position. Any further discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right,
you.
council member liaison reports. Anybody have anything?
Go ahead.
Friends Library did meet this past week or two ago. Overall with the library, circulation stats are up compared to last year. Revenues are also up from last year for the library. And also there's a good number of programs going on with every age category. There was a great amount of outreach over with the library to ELA, Tiny Cactus, AWC, Blake, PHS, Wallace, La Pera Junior High. They're looking at trying to get various grand speakers through a particular program that they're looking at. And basically with this, it's trying to get virtual authors to meet on an ongoing basis. The Friends Library is talking about a 50-50 split, trying to get those various authors and other individuals to be discussing over at the library. Friends Library are donating $300 to help with Red Ribbon Week. They are looking at what's needed to focus on a ramp over at their new shed building overall in that area. They were awarded from the county support fund $1,700 for shelving for their new shed area. And they have a good deal of handful of fundraiser activities that they are looking at trying to implement.
Parks and Rec has started their trunk or treat, which will take place on Halloween, but right now they are open for trunks to sign up. So if you guys know any businesses that would like to do a trunk, please contact Parks and Rec or the town of Parker.
Okay, I went to I don't know why I don't see where I'm a part of the senior center committee, but I think it's there's two.
So that's where I got confused,
It's
Randy. I asked
confusing,
Nora about it. I
which
don't
is
know which
why
one
I
I'm
would
on.
just love to eliminate the one that was created for no reason. The senior center committee, I believe, is that the one that's been around for all these years. Or what-
That's the Friends.
The
senior-
Friends.
You're on the Friends.
That's the meeting I went to.
Yes.
Which is not this one.
I think their big concern right now is that new fire suppression thing in
It's
the
the hood.
kitchen. And they were concerned because they got an IDA grant for $25,000, and it's been probably 2 years, and they were worried, and I told them, don't worry.
Yes.
We give money away like to the chamber that's just sitting there waiting for the project. So they were worried about that. I told them, don't worry about it. The grant side of it, I think they told them, don't worry about it, it gets done when it gets done, so. But just to pass on, that's their big concern right now, is to get that thing finished, so. And then there was a few requests from Hortensia, a new stove or new oven here, a little, few things here and there, and I think they were agreeable to it, so. But that group was, it was dark for the summer, and they just came back to meet, so. Okay, anybody else?
Yeah, Josh and I attended joint venture. Again, funding, where we're at with funding, just bringing in different partners to possibly help us. That's about it. And the agreement. There was discussion on the agreement.
That's better than, we're having a meeting next Wednesday. That's the report I used to get, so. Thank you. Anybody else? All right, announcements Monday, September 22nd, streets and traffic. Wednesday, October 1st, Parker Community Center Advisory Board.
So was that me?
That's the other one. Okay. It's the advisory board that doesn't advise anybody, so that's how to know the difference. Then Tuesday, October 7th, next regular council meeting. And this meeting is adjourned.
Good night.
Good night.
Thanks, Christina.